The 0-1 pitch.
There's another pitch for a strike, and this guy's really attacking hitters well tonight, being aggressive early on, and if he continues to throw strikes like he is, he's going to have a pretty good night.
Hernandez leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. Out in front of that one, but he stays alive and will do it again on 0-2. Again, another foul ball. Strike 3 called as he can't get the bat off his shoulders. Side retired. The love of the game runs deep with these folks. Back with more of Game 4 on the show after this. All set for the start of the inning, and here comes the first baseman, Luke Voit.
The first baseman, Luke Voit.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. In there for strike 1, 0-1.
Well, they've really had an answer for keeping him in check in this series. He's offered very little resistance with the bat in his hand so far.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Now that ball's hit well deep down the left field line, headed toward the foul pole. But that'll stay in the park as it's off the left field wall.
Hey, there's a bullet off the wall. The outfielder does a really good job of getting that one in quickly, but I think they had a play there at second base.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, Dan. I got to believe you're busting it out of the box thinking 2 until somebody tells you no. I know it would have been a close play, but I think you got to err on the aggressive side right there.
0 for 2 for him to this point. And he gets him to swing through that one. He's in control. 0-2. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. And it's fouled away. Oh, and 2. Here it is. Fouled away. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. Ranging back is Zimmer. On the warning track, he makes the catch. So now here is Clint Frazier. He comes in 1 for 2 with that home run he hit earlier. And now the first pitch. Turned on, but that's ripped foul down the third baseline. 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error on the Yankee line score so far. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Popped him up. Ramirez over to his right. 2 down. That'll bring in Giovanni Urshela.
O'Shea.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. And he popped him up, drifting back behind first. Hernandez will put this one away, and the side is retired. And that'll bring in Franmil Reyes. He's hitless in the game, as is much of the rest of his team.
Down by one. I'm interested to see how they approach this as an offense, especially if they get someone on base early in the inning. Some teams, they're going to try and manufacture that run, just trying to get that one run across. Others, they're going to look for one or two big swings to make it happen.
Oh, and just a miserable effort there. It's 0-1.
Now you could just see this guy out on the mound right here, just the body language. He knows he's on top of his game, executing a nasty slider down the way right there, giving this offense no chance.
High in the air and drifting out to shallow center. Coming on for it is Hicks. But it's the shortstop that gets there. And there's one away now.
Boy, he showed some pretty good range, heading pretty deep into the outfield to bring that one down. Thought the outfielder might call him off, but he clearly had it under control.
Into the box now, Eddie Rosario. Late on that one as it's fouled off to the left side. No hits to this point. The windup and the 0-1. Here's strike two on a fastball right down the middle.
The seventh inning is one of those innings when you might start seeing some warning signs from your starters that they're reaching the end of their rope, but that's not the case here. He looks really solid to me.
The 0-2 once more. He takes strike three called on the fastball. Couldn't pull the trigger, and there are two away.
I always like watching pitchers that attack with their fastballs until there's a reason to start mixing it up. He hasn't needed many of the secondary pitches so far in this one, and there was another good fastball for a strikeout there.
Now that brings up Josh Naylor as he lifts it in the air to right field. And that will conclude matters here in the seventh. Emmanuel Clase has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the eighth. Leading off the inning, it'll be Gary Sanchez. Tried to pad their lead here before the bottom of the inning. No balls and one strike. 0-1, here it comes. And right into the shift. But this will get foul for strike two. Here's the 0-2. And he fouls this one off. The next 0-2. Hit sharply on the ground. And that is through into left. And an 0-2 mistake here results in a leadoff single.
Hey, this guy's having a big series in the postseason. It looks like to me that the moment isn't too big for him. He's slowing the game down. He looks terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. Postseason monster right here, having a huge series. Any big leaguer can have their moment mid-May, but to do it when it gets cold outside means everything.
And that sends DJ LeMahieu into the box. Fouled off. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. High in the air out to center field. Waiting on it is Zimmer. He's got it one away. Now this is cut and thrown to first. And they get the double play.
Doesn't happen often throughout the course of the season, but right there, you talk about having awareness, taking advantage of a team that's maybe sleepwalking a little bit on the base pass. Unbelievable job to get 2 outs.
Well, the play's been made, and with it... Bottom of the inning now, and stepping up as the shortstop, Andres Gimenez.
The shortstop.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Sent in the air out to straightaway central. Here's Hicks to put it away, and that's out number 1. Next up is Bradley Zimmer. He grounded out last time up. Hit to short. Torres picks it up. Throw gets him. 2 down. So now to the plate, Bo Naylor. It was a walk in his last trip. First pitch of the AB now.
Pretty much an obligatory take that time.
Yeah, when the first 2 guys of the inning make first pitch outs, you really don't have much choice.
Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Boy, he's been great in this one, and he's only 1 strike away from putting another 0 on the scoreboard.
Back up the middle and in for a base hit. So with that, we're not done with the bottom of the 8th quite yet.
And they keep the inning alive with a base hit, but you can see that's only the 3rd hit he's given up the entire game, so he's still in total control out there.
And that'll bring in the former top prospect, Amed Rosario. He's gone hitless in this one, Dan, and he's not alone.
No, he's not.
And the throw is in time to get him to retire. Cal Quantrill enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th.
The center fielder, Aaron.
Big swing, but he just gets a piece of it. Strike 1. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Popped him up. Hernandez waits on it. 1 away. In now is the Yankees DH, Giancarlo Stanton. He went down looking in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, Matty, and hopefully he got it out of his system. Especially now, he's got to bear down. He gets the 2 strikes in this spot, has to put the ball in play.
And he'll stay with it to put it away as they get their man here for the 2nd out. And now, Luke Voit. He steps in off a base hit in his last at-bat. This is popped up. Naylor is there. And he makes the play to end the inning. Digging in, the switch hitter, Cesar Hernandez. He'll be the first to bat here in the inning with his guys in need of some 9th inning magic if they're going to force a game 5. Throws in time, and that's out number 1. Now at the plate here is Jose Ramirez. He was sent packing on strikes in his last trip.
Yeah, in today's game, certainly don't get completely reprimanded.
And that's going to get your tying run in scoring position, as it ought to be good for extra bases. And he's in there easily at second with a 1-out double.
Now that's the at-bat they needed. Bases empty, 1 out, down 1 in the 9th. He's got to find a way, any way to get on base, and he does more than that, getting into scoring position here. We've got a great finish on our hands, guys.
Hey, hats off to the pitching staff right here. They've been able to hold a hot hitter in check in Game 4 this series.
Now the 0-2 pitch.
I mean, he's coming right after him, Matty. 3 fastballs in a row.
Bouncer to the left side. Gabriel Arias will come on now and pinch run here. And now here is Eddie Rosario. And his guys are looking to erase that donut on the scoreboard with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, Matt, they've been really shut down so far in this one. They've had runners on base, but haven't been able to string anything together.
And now he'll step off quickly and look the runner back. Tying and winning runs on base here with 1 big out. And they pitch out here, but nothing's going on. But he's safe at third as he's able to scramble back. Now the 2-0. Swing and a miss on the heater, and it's 2-1.
Hey, it's tough when your team is being held scoreless on the scoreboard. He was trying to put him on the board with a swing like that one.
Ball even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and they'll dodge a major bullet that time. 2 away.
Talk about blowing it by a guy. Geez, I mean, that fastball was way behind him when the swing came through the zone. I have to think he was looking for something off speed, and he just couldn't pull the trigger on that fastball.
Josh Naylor stands in as he looks at ball 1 here. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
A time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
2-1 after the foul ball there. 2 big outs here, but the tying and winning runs are both out there. Sent foul again, and after being way ahead, now it's even at 2-2.
It's going to be back to some serious tee work if he can't put that pitch in play right in his wheelhouse.
Swing and a ground ball. This could do it. And sure enough, the Yankees are once again American League champions.
Well, congratulations to them as they're now the American League champs. They're going to celebrate tonight, and then they're going to have to refocus for a run at the ultimate prize, the World Series trophy. Can't wait.
For my partners, Dan Plesac, Mark DeRosa, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been the American League Championship Series.
It's a shame because they were so good all season long up until this point. But let's be honest, they laid an egg in this series. That's going to make for a long off season. I do, however, feel like this team's going to rebound and be back in the mix again next year.
Hey. Now I'm switching up my energy. My enemies feel like I got hundreds of them. No love for me. Y'all ain't in the streets. Y'all just in the street. Y'all take ministry. Y'all just in and preach. No deal, I like the breach. I call up my lawyer like, never mind. They playing with all of me. It's just money, but never mind. That could probably never rhyme. And still be $1 million up. I only spend money on her if I know she the truth is to keep it a buck. You play with me once and you dumped. The that I say when I'm done. You know I'm ignorant. I'm at my house party acting. Telling my guests that I don't use it. Then turn around and I do it again. Act like a saint, who am I to pretend? Asking the Lord to forgive all my sins with my fingers crossed behind my back with a brand. I sin. I feel like the Bucks. I win. Again and again. Now they telling their friends. I don't know who my friends. They like to pretend.
So let's check in with our field reporter Heidi Watney, who spoke earlier with some players from both sides about what it means for them to be playing in the World Series. Heidi? Next up for Los Angeles, A.J. Pollock. We'll see if he can come through in a clutch spot here. 2 on, 2 out here in inning number 6. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Hit well down the left field line, but back into the crowd, foul. Big expectations followed the Bronx Bombers into the 2021 season, and they've delivered in a big way. They're in the World Series for the first time since their 2009 title campaign.
And this was everything they had their sights set on since opening day. You know, Yankees fans have been craving for a run like this. They don't put up with anything less than rings.
Yeah. And we'll just leave it there as they make the play to end the inning. First pitch on the way. Oh, right back to him on the mound. And he'll flip on to first to record the out. Giancarlo Stanton now. He started out the evening 0 for 2 so far. Fly ball out toward right field. On the move is Betts. But it's over his head, and it hops the wall for a ground rule double.
Pretty good swing right there as he drives this ball deep. One hops over the wall, and he can just walk into second base with a ground rule double.
Standing in now, Luke Voit, as he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. He's set. Here's the 0-1. Hit hard on the ground to third. In time to first, and there are 2 away. And that'll bring up Gleyber Torres. His lifetime numbers against Kershaw. He's hitless in 3 at-bats. And it looks like they'd rather go after the next guy as the intentional walk signal comes here with 2 away. That'll bring in Giovanni Urshela. 2 outs and 2 runners aboard here in the 7th inning. Now the first pitch. And it's fouled away.
Well, the Yankees have been searching for that big hit pretty much all game. It remains to see if they can get it, but now it sure would be a good time.
High fly ball out to straightaway center. Bellinger's under it. He hauls it in, and the potential go-ahead run will. Last half of the 7th here, and that'll give way to the veteran second baseman, Chris Taylor.
Second baseman, Chris.
And he takes ball 1. And 2-0 as this one's taken low.
Hey, after those 2 breaking balls missed, you have to be sitting on a fastball right here.
Behind on the swing that time, and it's 2-1.
Really feels like he's just on cruise control out there on the mound right now.
Boy, this is a tight one. You kind of get the feeling like the next team that scores is going to win this one.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Rolled slowly down the first baseline, and he'll take it to the bag himself for the out. Michael Busch will grab a bat and hit for the pitcher here. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. The 1-0. Finds the zone, strike 1.
Hey guys, that fastball just registered 97 miles an hour. On a night like tonight where it's super cold out, if you don't get to head to that baseball right there and you get jammed, it's almost like getting stung by a pack of wasps.
Here's the pitch. One run, 4 hits. No errors for the Dodgers thus far. Grounded back up the middle. Torres brings it in on to first, and there are 2 down. Here's Mookie Betts. He's gone hitless in this one, Dan, and he's not alone.
No, he's not, Matt. This lineup has had no answer for their opponent on the mound so far.
Just gets a piece of it, strike 1. 2 out, nobody on. Fastball called for strike 2.
There's another pitch for a strike, and this guy's really attacking hitters well tonight, being aggressive early on, and if he continues to throw strikes like he is, he's going to have a pretty good night.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. And he's got himself another one as he picks up strikeout number 9 here, and the side is retired. Dodgers down in order. Score remains tied 1-1. Blake Trinan has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th. Ready to begin the 8th, and that'll bring in the veteran catcher, Gary Sanchez. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul. Comes set and the 0-1. A swing by Sanchez, and this one soaring out into left field. And as Yankees fans hear on television quite frequently, see ya! A solo shot here to left as they've taken a 1-run lead.
This is going to be one of those moments we look back on in a couple years when we relive this World Series. That swing of the bat late in the game to take the lead, huge blow.
Now back, the pitcher, Garrett Cole.
Into the box, Garrett Cole, as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. A hit in 2 tries for him so far. Set to deliver the 0-1. Grounder down the line at third. That's through, and he's now 2 for 3 in this one.
He came to play today, not just only on the bump right there. He's thrown the ball well, but on the offensive side of the ball, he's able to contribute and help this offense put itself in position to score some more runs.
Here's the second baseman, DJ LeMahieu, as he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Fouled away. From the stretch. Line toward the alley in left center. And this is into the alley and ought to be good for extra bases. And this will bang up against the wall. The relay not in time, and he's in there with a double. And it's in time as he's out at third as the good relay gets him. Now they tag him out between second and third, and it's a double play.
Doesn't happen often throughout the course of the season, but right there, you talk about having awareness, taking advantage of a team that's maybe sleepwalking a little bit on the base pass. Unbelievable job to get 2 outs.
And the center fielder is under it to make the catch, and the inning is over. 1 scores in the inning coming on this. So here is Justin Turner, his career line against Garrett Cole. He's gone 3 for 6. Cole into the windup. Here comes the first pitch. Can't find the zone there as he lays off the breaking ball.
You know, because this is just a 1-run game, this doesn't strike me as a situation where he's going to be working around a guy. I think he's going to challenge him right here.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Another one sent foul. He'll try again, 1-2. Hit down the line at first. He's right there, and he'll step on first himself for the out. Next at the plate will be Corey Seager. He was retired via the ground ball last time up. Outfield shaded toward right center. Here's the first pitch. Skied down the left field line.
You're lucky if you get 1 pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
1 strike now from Cole. And he fouls this one off.
I mean, he's coming right after him, Matty. 3 fastballs in a row.
Ready with another 0-2. This is hit the other way out toward left field. On the move is Stanton. He can't get there as it falls in. And this one scoots all the way to the wall. Long throw to third. And he'll make it to third safely, so your tying run is 90 feet away with only one gone.
This is an easy decision for him to try for third because he has the play right in front of him, so he doesn't have to rely on any of his base coaches. Good decision to keep chugging, and he makes it all the way around safely.
1 for 2 in the ballgame thus far. Swing, and there it goes. He got all of that ball. And as Dodger fans have heard for years, she is out of here.
The catcher.
Here now is Will Smith. As he'll go after the first pitch to him and comes up empty, it's strike one. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. Takes a good swing, but this will be a foul ball. Both teams with 6 hits so far. Here comes another 0-2. Sliced hard on the ground, and that's through for a hit. He's through first and hustling for second. Around second, he's on his way to third. Smith takes the turn at third. He wants it all. He scores as they extend their lead to 2.
Boy, the home fans are loving that inside the Parker. Looked like he was carrying a piano around his back when he rounded third, but he made it. Somebody get him an oxygen mask.
And that'll bring up the versatile Max Muncy. And the starter remains out there despite just allowing the long ball. We thought maybe they'd go and get him, but no indication of that yet.
Yeah, to me, that home run was a sign that he's starting to get a little bit tired out there. It was a good pitch to hit, and it's typically the command that starts slipping when you're fatiguing a little bit. So I can't see him being out there much longer.
Behind 0-2 now. Looking for his 10th strikeout. Here's the pitch. 3 runs already home here. And he struck him out. The 10th victim set down on strikes thus far. So next to hit is A.J. Pollock. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch.
You rarely see a pitcher of this quality throw one right down the middle, and man, as a hitter, probably a good chance you're not going to see that pitch again.
0-1 count. Here's the pitch.
Hey, I noticed pitcher's getting ahead right here. He's got the hitter down 0-2, but to this guy in the box, might want to just live on the corners a little bit more. You keep missing down the middle, something's not coming back.
High and deep down the left field line. And yet another strikeout here. His 11th of the ball game. Now we're going to have a conference at the home plate area, so it would appear that we'll see a double switch here. Kenley Jansen comes out of the bullpen to shut things down here in the 9th. From the stretch. Fouled off. Oh, 0-1, here it comes. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch there for the first out here in the 9th. And digging into the batter's box next will be Giancarlo Stanton. He doubled his last time through.
Yeah, he jumped all over that first pitch last time up. Interested to see if he has the same approach this AB.
No balls and a strike to count. A 1 pitch on its way. And it's fouled away. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Fouled away. The next 0-2. A swing and a shot hit down the corner. And this will wind up being nothing more than a long foul ball, and it'll hold the count at 0-2.
Man, just a hair early on that one and just pulled it foul.
There's a swing and a high drive into left center field. Going back is the center fielder. And a leaping effort at the wall, but it's in vain. A home run.
Well, people always wonder why some players make so much money, and there's your answer. The great ones find a way to rise to the occasion in the postseason, and he did right there.
So now to the plate, Luke Voit. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Turned on down the line. On the first in time, and the Yankees are down to their final out now. Next up, Gleyber Torres. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Now the first pitch. Hit in the air down the right field line. A sold-out crowd, 56,000 strong at the start, all up in L.A. And he fouls this one off. Last chance for the Yankees. And here's a ball in the air now, carrying a bit out toward right center. He lays out for it, but he can't pull it in.
And if you're the manager, you've got to love that about your team. They were down to their last strike, but they refused to go down without a fight, so they lived to fight some more.
Stepping in now, Gio Urshela, as the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Hey, I know the tying run's at first right here, but if the pitcher on the mound executes, keeps the ball in play, I think good things are going to happen.
Ready with the 0-1. Fouled off. Has them down to their final strike. Here it comes. Still no balls and 2 strikes. The next 0-2. Now he extends nicely, and this ball's driven to right field and deep. Catch is made, and the Dodgers have taken their first step as they claim Game 1 here at home. This ball game is over. So first blood has been drawn in this World Series, and guys, what have we learned?
Well, in terms of what shape this series is going to take, that really rides on the Game 2 result. If they can do it again tomorrow and go up 2-0, they'll become heavy favorites to raise the trophy. But we could also be heading into Game 3 at a new venue, even at 1 apiece. So really, we'll know a lot more after Game 2.
In it. Bring the Khalifa crown, I put the fees in it. KK got the
So the Yankees talked to our own Heidi Watney before the game. Heidi, what's the state of this team headed into this upcoming Game 2?
Matt, while falling in Game 1 was certainly a gut check for this team, they didn't seem all that fazed by it. They know they will have to play better the rest of the way, but many of the players told me they know they can. They said one game is exactly that, one game. As for this game, a coach told me that he hopes they play a little looser. He said they're reminding these players that even though this is the World Series, playing the brand of baseball that got them here is what is ultimately going to get them a championship.
High in the air down the right field line. Well, you don't need us to tell you, it's really starting to come down out there. I can't imagine the umpires will let this go too much longer if it doesn't ease up.
Well, you could say that again, Matt. It's raining cats and dogs out there. Make sure you don't step in a poodle. I think it's time to get the grounds crew out.
Another one sent foul. Here's another 0-2. High and deep to left. This one's got plenty of distance. And they have taken the lead. A solo shot here to left. As they get on the board first, it's 1-0.
This is going to be one of those moments we look back on in a couple years when we relive this World Series. That swing of the bat late in the game to take the lead. Huge.
Next up will be Gleyber Torres. Popped him up. Smith over to his left. 1 out. And now in the box, Gio Urshela. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. Here's the first pitch. Lined hard to center field. Bellinger is there, 2 gone.
Well, we've mentioned the conditions aren't ideal with the rain coming down, and that can make every play a little bit of an adventure. You really have to concentrate, and he did there to haul it down.
A 1 pitch on its way. Line drive, base hit. The relay. And he'll try to get back now, but it's not going to work. The throw hangs him out to dry, and that'll end the inning. Yankees do get 1 on the solo homer.
Leading off for the Dodgers, the second baseman, Chris
At the plate, Chris Taylor.
And on the first pitch, he grounds foul.
He'll lead it off for the boys in blue here in the 8th at Dodger Stadium. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2. And he punches out another one, make it 9 for the ball game.
People always talk about how important getting the leadoff man on base is, and it's true. So in the 8th inning of a 1-run game, that's a really nice job of attacking a hitter and sending him packing.
Well, there it is. This one is going to be delayed as the crew chief has made the call to suspend action.
You know, Matt, I just get the feeling this isn't going to be a very long delay, and we do have some clearing skies, so I think both of these guys possibly will go back out.
First pitch on its way. Matt Beatty is in with 1 away now as he swings and misses here at strike 1. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2.
Even though we're late into this ball game, this guy's velo is still top-notch. This guy's a horse.
The 0-2 home.
Boy, that's one of the toughest pitches to lay off. A hard breaking ball at the back foot. Tough take on a terrific pitch.
Into the corner and slicing foul. No runs, 3 hits. No errors for the Dodgers thus far. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. Right side, but it's well foul. Here he comes again, 1-2. And he struck him out. So double digits now, 10 strikeouts for him thus far.
He put up a pretty good battle at the plate right there. They finally get him on a 1-2 pitch, but you could see that he wasn't laying down without a fight. He really made the pitcher earn that strikeout.
Here's Mookie Betts. Popped him up. Urshela into foul territory. And no one will get this one. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Popped up. And 8 innings have come and gone now as the inning is over. 1-2-3 go the Dodgers. It remains 1-0. Blake Treinen enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th. Now to the plate, the pitcher, Luis Severino, 0 for 2 for him to this point. And the pitch. Swing and a blooper down the right field line. And there's a base hit, and this could wind up as an important insurance strike here as the leadoff man's aboard to start the 9th.
He came to play today. Not just only on the bump right there. He's thrown the ball well, but on the offensive side of the ball, he's able to contribute and help this offense put itself in position to score some more runs.
Singled last time up. Shot to third, but gloved by the third baseman for the out.
The batter, the right fielder.
Now to bat, Jason Dominguez. 3 at-bats for him in this one, all ending with him going down on strikes. He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Pulled toward right center field. Bellinger there as he had to travel a ways, but he makes the catch deep in the alley for the 2nd out.
The batter, the center fielder, Aaron Hicks.
Into the box now, Aaron Hicks, as he'll go after a hard sinker that time and falls behind 0-1. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. Here's the 0-1. And it's fouled away. Severino is off of first with 2 away. Fouled away. Another 0-2 home. And he fouls this one off. Fouled off. And it's fouled away. Now another 0-2. Fouled away.
6 fouls in a row. This is turning into one of those epic at-bats. Who's going to blink first? Is the pitcher going to continue to attack the zone, or is the hitter going to come outside it?
And he fouls this one off. Ready with another 0-2. Struck him out, so it remains a one-run lead as they head in for their finals. At the plate now is Justin Turner. He's the one to start things off, with his guys in danger of seeing this series leveled at a game apiece, barring a ninth-inning rally. Justin Turner is in to start things out as he swings and misses at that one at strike one.
I'm surprised we're seeing so many late swings on fastballs. If there's one rule of thumb in the game, get to the heat.
1-1. Fastball called strike. 1-2.
Borderline pitch right there. But as a low ball hitter, you can live with that as long as the umpire doesn't give him north as well.
Right side. Gloved by LeMahieu. And the off-balance throw gets him. Nice play for the out. Here's Corey Seager, who struck out swinging in his last trip to the plate. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Called a strike on the outer half. 0-1.
Yeah, that looked like an auto take right there, just trying to measure up this pitcher's stuff.
Waved at and missed, and he's behind 0-2.
Man, this dude is locked in on the mound. He's throwing each pitch with confidence.
Swinging a ball hit on the ground. Yanked on the ground down the line. And he'll take this on to first, and they're down to their final out, 2 away. So here's Cody Bellinger. He's their last shot here with 2 away in the ninth as they look to avoid the shutout.
Yeah, Matt, they just haven't had any answer for the great pitching so far in this one.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. Tying run at the plate, the 0-1. Good pitch as this is swung on and missed, and now they're down to perhaps their final strike of the evening.
This is one of the things that makes him so effective as a pitcher, able to pound the zone with all different options.
And he gets strike 3 called to end it here, and with that, this one is over.
Wow, not only are complete games rare in this day and age of Major League Baseball, but a complete game shutout. This guy was in total command from the first inning through the ninth. Totally dominant in this one.
Time for one final check of the line score as you see the key players there in this shutout victory. So it's tit for tat to open this fall classic, with each of these heavyweights having one win as the series prepares to shift to a new venue.
You know what, Matty? I think they've had a nice chance to get a feel for each other now. I expect this series to only get better and more interesting as we move forward because of it.
Totally agree with you, D-Row. We may see some adjustments for Game 3, but whatever happens, it looks like we're in for a great World Series. These two teams are really evenly matched.
Let's go down to the field with Heidi Watney for a report on what she took away from her talks with the players. Heidi? Runner at second, 1 away, and that'll bring up A.J. Pollock. Kluber pauses. First pitch on the way.
That pitch tells me this guy's feeling frisky right now. He's on. He's got everything working.
0-1 count and the pitch. Behind 0-2 now. And he struck him out. Good pitch there as he registers his 8th punch out of the ball game. Next for the Dodgers, Edwin Rios. Third trip to the plate for him here tonight. 0 for 2 at this point. Hoping to keep it tied. Here it comes. Taken but called a strike. Sinker, and this one's over as well. 0-2 now.
On 0-2 here, he doesn't have to give in with a great pitch to hit. He's got a base open.
That will have to press pause as that strike 3 to retire the side. Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, DJ LeMahieu. His prior history in this matchup is 2 for 3. Grounded weakly down the line toward third. Throw not in time to get him, and how about that? An unlikely infield single.
I know he didn't smoke that one from the offensive standpoint, but you know what? A knock's a knock, especially to lead off an inning, game tied, and it's getting late. That could prove to be pivotal.
And he turns this one around high and deep to center field. And he's going to make the catch on the warning track. A fine running play there for the first out. Stepping in next, Aaron Hicks. It's been an 0 for 2 effort for him to this point. Here's the first pitch to him. Swing and a screamer, but this one's not going to stay fair. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. Fouled off. 0-2, here it comes. Pulled hard, but it's fouled down the first base side.
There's another pitch for a strike, and this guy's really attacking hitters well tonight, being aggressive early on, and if he continues to throw strikes like he is, he's going to have a pretty good night.
High and deep down the left field line. The next 0-2. And it's fouled away. Ready with the 0-2. Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul. Hit sharply on the ground. And that finds its way through for a base hit. And that runner will hold up at second with 2 aboard now.
Boy, that was a strange AB right there, Dero. 7 pitched, 0-2 at bat. Gets the first 2 strikes in. On the 7th pitch, disaster for the pitcher.
Yeah, you'll see that happen about 5 to 10 times all year. You're in straight survival mode, fouling off everything and find a hole.
And the tag's there. He's out at third base. It's a double play, and just like that, the inning is over. First offering on its way. The windup and the 0-1. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
In my opinion, one of the toughest pitches in the game to square up. Just a heavy sinker with good downward action.
And he struck him out. The 10th victim set down on strikes thus far. So that'll bring in Mookie Betts. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Sinker to open the AB in there for strike 1.
You know, some guys just don't like pulling the trigger in a 0-0 count. They don't like the ambush tactic. They like to calibrate the speed, maybe pick up the break. They want to know everything your ball does before they pull the trigger.
Lifted down the line in left.
He got the fastball where he wanted and just pulled off of it.
Pitch number 100 on its way. And he stays alive here as he gets a piece of this, and in turn he gets a piece of the catcher behind the plate.
That's the heavy sinker right there. He has the ability to get ground ball when he needs them, potential double play situations, or to get that jam job with no one on base, that tapper right back to the pitcher. One of the toughest pitches to hit in the game.
As we take a look at his numbers, a couple of things jump out at you.
Definitely, Matt. He's been throwing it by guys the entire game, but that leads to some high pitch counts, and that's the case here. After that hit, you have to wonder if he's starting to get a little bit fatigued.
Yeah, and in today's game, everyone seems to want to err on the side of caution in terms of pitch counts. Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Hey, now he's got me confused up here. This is a known sinker baller out on the mound trying to roll a double play, and he throws him a four-seamer.
And Hicks will settle under this one for the second out. So next to bat will be Corey Seager. So far 2 for 3 in this one. First pitch of the AB on its way. Lower part of the zone, but it's taken for a strike.
It's really hard to work deep into games when you're having an outing like this guy is. You're going to strike out a lot of guys. Well, guess what? Your pitch count's going to go up, too.
Behind 0-2 now. Working for the punch out and the offering. And a good swing there as this is deep down the line and right, but this is going to wind up out of play. Hit hard up the middle. That gets through for a base hit. He's now 3 for 4 in this one.
Hey, this guy's obviously seeing the ball right now. That's another hard hit single. 3 for 4 right there. He's looking super solid at the plate.
Cody Bellinger at the plate now, as Kluber's able to get ahead of him here with strike 1. In there, and it's 0-2 now. Betts on second. Seager on at first with 2 down. Out in front of that one, but he stays alive and will do it again on 0-2. Swung on and chopped to first. Reined in. And the inning will end as they're unable to cash in with 2 outs. So it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left stranded. 7th inning stretch time now here in the Bronx, and we still have no score. Striding in is Luke Voit. Been a strikeout victim twice in this one. Outfield shaded a bit to left center, the first pitch. Well out in front of the breaking ball there for a strike.
Hey, it's tough when your team is being held scoreless on the scoreboard. He was trying to put him on the board with a swing like that one.
Behind 0-2 now. He struck him out the 3rd time he's fanned in the game. What's your take on all the strikeouts we see in the game today, Dan? That was his 3rd tonight, and it seems we're seeing that a lot more these days.
Yeah, Matt, there's been a real change in philosophy as far as hitting in baseball today. A lot of guys think now that an out is an out, a strikeout is just as good as a regular out, but we're seeing strikeouts at an alarming rate in baseball right now.
Up next to the game, the left fielder, Clint Frazier.
To the plate now, Clint Frazier. High in the air down the right field line. Betts has a read on it, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring in Giovanni Urshela. He's 1 for 2 in this one. Now the first pitch. And he's way off balance with the swing there.
Hey, this guy's got to be pretty proud of what he's done so far. It's never easy to pitch on the road, but to have this kind of outing in a ballpark that is notoriously known as being hitter-friendly, it's been a treat to watch.
This is hit high and deep out to left. Pollock looking up. And as Yankees fans hear on television quite frequently, see ya! It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left, and this is now a 2-0 lead for the Yankees.
This is going to be one of those moments we look back on in a couple of years when we relive this World Series. That swing of the bat late in the game to take the lead, huge blow.
At the plate now, Gary Sanchez. Swing and a ball hard hit toward deep right. And he will make the catch just shy of the track, and the inning is over. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run home run. We'll march on to the 8th. It's now 2-0 New York. Here now is Will Smith. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. Outfield in the no doubles defense. Now the first pitch. And the first pitch of the inning here misses down and in for a ball. It's 1-0.
This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot. Time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
High and deep down the left field line. The 1-1 is swung on and missed, and that's strike 2. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Here's another 1-2.
You know, taking you inside the mind of a batter right here, you can't get in auto swing mode. You still have to control the strike zone.
And he struck him out. And there's strikeout number 11 in the ballgame.
This guy is really locked in on the bump right now. He's just playing good old-fashioned hardball right now, just rearing back and letting it go. And it seems like this lineup, they don't have an answer for anything he's bringing so far.
Max Muncy is in with one away now as he swings and misses here at strike 1.
In today's game, with velocity and exploding breaking stuff, you have to find a way to control the strike zone as a unit. They haven't been able to do that today, swinging at way too many pitches outside the zone.
Trying to send him packing for the second time. No runs, 8 hits, 1 error in the ballgame for the Dodgers to this point. And he's just rolling right now, and even dozen strikeouts for him in the ballgame. Next to dig in, A.J. Pollock. Only 4 outs remaining for them to try and rally back in this one. First pitch on the way. The windup and the 0-1. And he takes something off there and had him way out in front for strike 2.
He's 1 pitch away from striking out the side, but even more than that, to throw a donut up after your offense put up some runs, I can't tell you what that means to the boys in the dugout.
Throw on to Voit takes care of him, and the inning is over. Dodgers down in order. They trail things here 2-0. Blake Treinen is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
For the Yankees, the second baseman, DJ.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. The 0-1 on its way. Behind 0-2 now. 0-2 count, and the pitch. Fly ball out toward left center field. Pollock arranged to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the first down. Up next, Jason Dominguez. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Here's the first pitch to him. Line toward right center. And a knock for him this time. He's 2 for 4 for the game.
Check out the lefty as he absolutely jumps on that first pitch and hammers it to right. Got what he was looking for and put a good swing on it.
Standing in now, Aaron Hicks. As he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. Last time through was a base hit. Comes set with the 0-1. Pulled high in the air out to right field. Betts has a read on it. He's got it, and there are 2 down now. On to first, a double play. 1 hit. All set to start the 9th in this one, and that brings in Edwin Rios.
This is the part of the game where I think we really start seeing what teams are made of, both in terms of battling back, showing some resiliency, and in terms of knowing how to play with the lead, locking down that W.
A 1 pitch on its way. Swing and a liner. And that is into right field, so the leadoff man's aboard here to kick off the 9th.
Well, you're usually in this situation looking for a bloop and a blast. He didn't want to bloop it, and he hit a missile, bringing the tying run to the plate. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Hit sharply on the ground. LeMahieu's got it. Torres hit the bag. Back to first, a 9th inning double play, and they're an out away from closing this one out. Here's Mookie Betts. He's their last shot here with 2 away in the 9th as they look to avoid the shutout.
Yeah, Matt, they just haven't had any answer for the great pitching so far in this one.
Late that time for a strike. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. A swing and a ground ball to third. And a diving effort there at third. Good way to bruise your ribs. How much for one of them ribs? It's a foul ball. The Dodgers down to their final strike. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over. So it's now a 2-1 series. And guys, where does this put the narrative entering game 4?
Well, after 3 games, the series obviously can't be any closer to this, but the Game 4 outcome is going to have enormous implication on what the narrative becomes. We'll either see this series deadlock at 2 or a 3-1 stranglehold.
Yeah, and what a world of difference between those two situations, Dan. Game 4 is going to be a golden opportunity for one team to seize control of this series, and basically a state of emergency for the other.
For a report on this club's outlook heading into Game 4, here's Heidi Watney. 7th inning ready to roll, and that'll bring up the left-handed hitter Max Muncy.
No, you're only down 1 right here, but the exploding stuff that's coming out of the back end of a lot of teams' bullpens. I mean, just north of 95 plus, stuff diving all over the plate. It's gotten a lot tougher to scratch across runs against these teams' bullpens.
And looked like ball 2 below the knees, but it's ruled a strike, and that evens the count at 1-1.
That pitch tells me this guy's feeling frisky right now. He's on. He's got everything working.
Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. Looking to punch him out again. The pitch. Line to shortstop, and there's one away.
Now back, left field, A.J. Pollock.
One gone now in the LA 7th, and up next the center fielder A.J. Pollock. And now the first pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
He got a swing and a miss on that last pitch, but that's not the location he wants to live in against a hitter of this quality.
There's the big breaking ball, and it's by him for a strike.
The 7th inning is one of those innings when you might start seeing some warning signs from your starters that they're reaching the end of their rope, but that's not the case here. He looks really solid to me.
And the throw is wide as it pulls the first baseman off the bag. So you can mark that one down as an E5, and I'd bet he'd like to have that one over. So it's a runner at first as a result of the throwing error. And next, the dangerous power threat, Edwin Rios. Strike one to start the at-bat. Oh, and 2 now as a curveball drops in there for a strike. He's got it. And he'll take this over to the bag for the out. But meanwhile, the runner moves into scoring position at second. So stepping in is Chris Taylor. The base knock to the outfield could score the tying run from second. Trying to hold the lead. Here's the delivery. Pitch popped up. And this is going to wind up a foul ball. Hot shot on the ground to short. Torres scoops it up. Throw on to first, and they'll escape the danger created by the error. The inning is over. Dodgers lead 1. Still a 3-2 ball game. Digging in now for the Yankees, Luke Voit. A hit in 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ball game. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss on the slider, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
This is what fires me up right here. You don't get a chance to see this every day of the week. You got the reigning Cy Young Award winner squaring off against the reigning MVP. That's why you pay the price of admission.
And he struck him out. So double digits now. 10 strikeouts for him thus far. 1 gone here in the Yankee 7th, and that'll bring up Gleyber Torres. Here's a shot to left field and deep into the second deck and gone. A solo shot here to left, and it'll give the Yankees a 4-2 lead.
That home run is definitely worth giving the show track treatment to. And as we look at it, not only an impressive distance shot, but the 110 miles an hour exit velocity is nothing to scoff at either. That's a big boy home run.
So now to the plate, Clint Frazier. A swing and a high drive to right center field. Back goes Betts to the track. On the warning track, he makes the catch. That'll bring in Giovanni Urshela. He was sat down on strikes in his last at-bat. Hit in the air out to center field. Bellinger's under it. And he makes the catch to retire the side.
The dark artist is Tokyo and I'm Godzilla. Playing blackjack versus
Yanks able to add on one more via the... So that'll bring in Mookie Betts. We're in the 8th now, and nothing's changed out there on the mound.
Well, I've been very impressed with how this starter's going about his business, Matt. He's looked really sharp, and it's hard to know if it's had any effect. But getting that early lead from his offense could have really helped settle him in.
And it's a good start to the inning for the Dodgers on the leadoff double.
That's what you call a clutch piece of hitting. Down 2 runs, he puts himself in scoring position and brings the tying run to the plate. We'll see what they do with the base open here. This one's getting interesting.
He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. Set to deliver the 0-1. Swing and a liner toward right center. That gets down. He's got himself a base hit. In at second safely as they also push across a score to make it a 1-run game.
Back-to-back doubles now, and that's a great way to get an inning going. The leadoff man shows him how it's done, and he comes right behind him following suit. Lacing a double of his own could be a big inning if this continues.
Corey Seager is at the plate now as he looks at strike 1. Big swing and a miss at the fastball, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
Might have to change your game plan in the box right here. If he's going to pound away, might have to work the opposite field.
Into the corner and slicing foul.
Hey, that fastball caught too much of the plate on an 0-2 count.
Slapped hard the opposite way. And he is going to tie this ball game late as this ball is down for extra bases. Runner around second now, headed for third. And he's in safely to third as this game is tied late with a run scoring away from the play.
You know, D-Row, in today's game, it's not easy scoring in the late innings, so that RBI base hit to tie things up, that comes at a really good time.
Yeah, I say it's not easy. They got 11 guys in the bullpen. I don't think a guy throws under 97 miles an hour with sink and cut. That is unbelievable he's able to get that knock in that big spot.
This is a situation where you're going strictly for the strikeout. Infield in, and from the offensive standpoint, you're just trying to create hard contact and get it by that infield.
So he ran the fastball by him for the punch-out. Cody Bellinger becomes the first out of the inning. Here now is Will Smith. It's been a rough go of things at the plate for him so far, but his guys are looking for him to change that right here.
Yeah, nothing better than coming through for the boys in a tight game, Matt.
In to score is the runner from third. It's a 5-4 game. That was a tough play, so let's take another look at it with Showtrack. Seemed to get a solid read off the bat, took a good angle at it, and he covered over 100 feet to make the grab. And I'm sure he'll be getting some high fives for that one. And that'll bring up the versatile Max Muncy. As it's grounded sharply to first, fielded cleanly, and he'll step on the bag himself. And Tommy Kingley is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th. Matt Beatty has come into the ballgame now as he takes over as the new third baseman. He's set and the pitch. Gary Sanchez is in for the third time as he swings and misses at that one. It's 0-1.
Hey, this pitcher better be careful right here. My man at the plate is not trying to push something to the opposite field.
Looking to put him away. Here's the 0-2. And a changeup swung on and missed for the first out.
People always talk about how important getting the leadoff man on base is, and it's true. So in the 8th inning of a 1-run game, that's a really nice job of attacking a hitter and sending him packing.
And that sends DJ LeMahieu into the box. And he's a bit tardy there on the first pitch fastball. It's 0-1. It could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. And that one yanked just foul. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Hit high and deep out to left field. But that'll stay in the park as it's off the wall.
Boy, D-Roll, that looked like extra bases right off the bat. This thing caroms off the wall. Outfielder does a great job of getting it in quickly and probably does a good job holding him to a single.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not standing on second base there, but you run the replay back, he was busting it out of the box. It's just a nice job by the defense to hold him to a single.
Beatty will have plenty of room as he makes the catch, and there's a big out number 2. So it's a runner at first with 2 men out, and that'll bring in the switch hitter, Aaron Hicks. From the belt, the pitch. LeMahieu, the runner at first with 2 gone. Weak roller right side. Throw on to Muncy, gets him, and with that, they'll end the inning. The Yanks leave 1, and the deficit holds at 5-4. New inning set to get underway, and coming forward, the veteran outfielder, A.J. Pollock. And we kick off the 9th inning with a swinging strike here, 0-1.
Look at the radar gun on that slider. Off-speed pitch, 91 miles an hour. That's just pure filth.
Behind 0-2 now. Here's a bouncing ball headed to LeMahieu at second. And this gets through into right, so he turns the 0-2 count into a leadoff base hit.
Hey, this looks like it could be a potential add-on inning here in the 9th. Add-on gives some breathing room to their pitcher going into the bottom of the inning, D-Row.
Yeah, you love when the offense stays aggressive. And you also like giving your relief pitcher a chance to breathe a little bit, not having to come out there with just a 1-run lead.
He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Fastball called for strike 2. Fouled away. The 0-2 once more. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, runner on first. Stays alive, still 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Oh, and he's really got the strikeout pitch working now as he notches number 9 in the ball game. So a runner at first now with 1 away, and in to hit next it'll be the ever versatile Chris Taylor. And here's a fastball called for strike 1.
Well, they've really had an answer for keeping him in check in this series. He's offered very little resistance with the bat in his hand so far.
Taylor behind, 0-2 the count.
Wow, I'm shocked the hitter took it right there. That's a well-executed pitch down in the zone to try and get that double play.
Lifted down the line in left. And another foul ball. Working for the punch out and the offering. Popped him up. Urshela has room in foul territory, but it's the catcher that gets there to haul it in. And there are 2 gone now. Here's Mookie Betts. 3 hits, including a pair of doubles for him thus far. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. There's a fastball right down Broadway, taken for a strike.
You got to love guys auto taking you 0-0 if you're on the mound. You could steal that first strike, and now you go to work, just picking apart the corners.
Struck him out, so it remains a 1-run lead as they head in for their final set. Kenley Jansen enters the game to finish this one off here in the bottom of the 9th. And digging into the batter's box next will be Giancarlo Stanton. Career matchup numbers against Kenley Jansen. He's 0 for 4. And he fouls this one off. Oh, 0-1, here's the pitch. Strike swinging, timing a little off on that one.
Hey, watch out. This hitter's got one thing on his mind.
Here's a swing and a high pop-up. Drifting toward the third base dugout. And he'll stay with it here as he puts the squeeze on it for out number 1. Next to hit, Luke Voigt. He went down on strikes last time up.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one. And we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
Fouled off. Oh, and he got a pitch to handle as this ball is hit high in the air and deep. And folks, this ball game is tied. A solo shot here to left, and we are tied again. Certainly a tape measure shot there as we take a look at it with our show track technology. 111 miles an hour was the exit velocity, so it comes as no surprise that it carried as far as it did. Gleyber Torres stands in as he swings and misses for strike 1. Swing and a hot shot toward third. And this will kick off the base of the wall.
A nice piece of hitting right there to put the winning run on base. I know there's one out in the inning. They got one more to play with that they could potentially be productive with. But this guy's looking to end this right now and put something in a gap.
Into the box, Clint Frazier. A drive to left. Get out of here. Get out of here. Gone. They win it. Santa Maria. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. And with one swing of the bat, this ball game is over.
You expect drama and historic moments in the World Series, and we just got another one of those. A walk-off to end this thing in the final at-bat of the game. What a finish!
Tonight's final. New York move a win away from a championship as they've taken a 3-1 series lead. Jameson Taillon is the winning pitcher of record. So the Yankees take Game 4 to now draw one win away from a world championship.
Yeah, Matt, they've taken an enormous step forward in this series. They're really sitting in a driver's seat. A loss here would have leveled the series. As it is, they're now up 3-1 and just need to win one of the next 3 games to claim the title.
Yeah, let's be honest, boys. I think it can easily be said that this is now their series to lose. I'm not recommending parade arrangements be made just yet, but they are certainly now the odds-on favorite to lift that trophy. And I'm sure they can taste it in the clubhouse.
Mucha sal de los que hablan con la L que hacen todo hasta el final. Un creyente boricua con bomba para fincar. En medio de la tormenta gozando voy a brincar. Yo, llámate a Elena, a Orlando y a Luca.
Heidi, you spoke to some of them earlier. What was the mindset of this group headed into this game?
Matt, a statement win in Game 4 has given this club a 3-1 stranglehold on this World Series, putting them just one victory from hoisting the championship trophy with 3 games to play. But these players are being careful not to allow themselves too much satisfaction about it. As one team leader put it, they don't give out rings winning 3 games. You've got to win 4. And we're facing a World Series caliber opponent, so we can't afford to get complacent.
set. Here it comes. Swing and a high fly ball out to left field. Back goes Pollock. And this one is gone. A home run.
Hitting the home run in the World Series is special at any point. Hitting a home run in the World Series that gives your team the lead, that's something to tell the grandkids about.
And that'll bring up Gleyber Torres. Swing, and there it goes. He got all of this one. Into the second deck and gone. So a solo shot down the line in left. His second home run of the series as they open it up to 6-2 now.
Well, when a manager talks about hitting being contagious, that is exactly what we're talking about. One guy tees off, and the guy behind him starts to feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more focused. The next thing you know, you've got 3 home runs in an inning, and your entire offense is off and running.
He wasn't letting that one go. Jumped on the first pitch right there and drove it into the outfield for a base hit.
Here comes the Dodger manager making his way toward the mound. And he's going to make a change here. That's going to be all for Trevor Bauer. He'll depart after 5 2/3 as it'll be up to the bullpen to keep his guys in the ball game. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. The 0-1 delivery. Frazier leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. Lifted in the air out towards left center. Bellinger's on his horse. He tracks it down, and that will end the inning. All set for the start of the inning, and that brings up the former National League MVP Cody Bellinger.
Hey, this is where you go up there and you just focus on doing your job. Turn the scoreboard off in your head. I know you're down a lot, but you have to have one quality at bat followed by another quality at bat. Don't give any outs away. No ABs go unnoticed right here.
Behind 0-2 now. And he struck out again. That's the 3rd time he's gone down on strikes in this one. What's your take on all the strikeouts we see in the game today, Dan? That was his 3rd tonight, and it seems we're seeing that a lot more these days.
Yeah, Matt, there's been a real change in philosophy as far as hitting in baseball today. A lot of guys think now that an out is an out, a strikeout is just as good as a regular out, but we're seeing strikeouts at an alarming rate in baseball right now.
And it's quickly 0-2.
Hey, he finds himself down 0-2 with the quickness. I know he's a great 2-strike hitter, but this at bat, he's going to have to find a way to nickel and dime and get this thing back to even.
And he struck him out. The 10th victim set down on strikes thus far.
Wow, talk about being efficient. How about 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts? Doesn't get much better than that.
And that'll bring up the versatile Max Muncy, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1.
Man, that's 7 straight strikes to start this inning. He's got a chance at an immaculate inning.
2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error in the ballgame for the Dodgers to this point. Behind 0-2 now.
He's 1 pitch away from striking out the side, but even more than that, to throw a donut up after your offense put up some runs, I can't tell you what that means to the boys in the dugout.
And he'll hang in here as he reaches to foul this one away. And it's fouled away. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. A bouncer to the left side. That's through, and he's got his first base hit. He's 1 for 3. As we take a look at his numbers, a couple of things jump out at you.
And here's the thing from a pitcher's perspective. You look at this line and you think, wow, he's been sitting guys down all game long, and that's true. But on the flip side, his pitch count is up there. You have to wonder if he might be starting to get a little bit tired in this one.
Yeah, and in today's game, everyone seems to want to err on the side of caution in terms of pitch counts.
Late swing on that curveball right there to run the count 0-2. Don't think he recognized.
We'll have to leave it there as the play is made for the ready to go for the last half of the inning, and that'll bring in the veteran catcher, Gary Sanchez.
Gary Sanchez.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Fouled away. Gonsolin uses a split-fingered fastball as one of his weapons of choice in the arsenal. He can really be very deceptive when that pitch is working, and I'd imagine as a hitter it's always in the back of your mind. And he fouls this one off.
That's a real nice location with that fastball up and in on the hands. Hard to do much with that because a hitter really can't extend his arms very easily.
Fouled off. Here comes another 0-2. Oh my, this ball is crushed. Where will this one end up? And gone. An absolute bomb. It's a solo shot here for Gary Sanchez. His third home run of this series, and the lead is now 7-2.
One of the best qualities of this pitcher is keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's not an easy guy to get the ball up in the air again, so he's going to have to regroup a little bit here. He's not used to giving up home runs.
Bellinger's under it, and he hauls it in for the first out of the inning. Ready to take his hacks again, Jason Dominguez. Blasted a two-run homer in his last at-bat. Liner in there for a base hit.
Hey, sometimes you just got to tip your cap right there. You execute a nice pitch down in the zone, think you're going to get a ground ball or a swing and a miss, and you find yourself with a man on first. Got to regroup.
In now, Aaron Hicks. And a pitch out, nothing doing though, and that's ball one. Count now a ball and a strike. Dominguez, a runner at first with one gone in the inning. And it's fouled away. The 1-2. Another one sent foul. Here he comes on a ball and two strikes. A double play ball to second. 4, 6, 3. It's a double play and the inning is over. One scores in the inning coming on this solo home run. We'll march on to the 8th. It's the Yankees 7 and the Dodgers 2. Ready to begin the 8th. And stepping in, the long ball threat, Edwin Rios. Ready with his 100th pitch of the ball game. And he throws the fastball by him here, 0-1.
Well, he kind of tipped his hand right there. His approach is obviously sitting on the off speed because he was so late on that first pitch heater.
A great job of changing speeds there. It's 0-2.
Looks to me like he's trying to make adjustments pitch to pitch up there at the plate, but he's looked completely thrown off so far. Late on the first one, way out front on the second.
And he struck him out. And there's strikeout number 11 in the ballgame.
Man, this guy's on his game today, not only when he's throwing strikes, but how about the amount of strikeouts? And what's even more impressive, no walks up to this point. So he's pounding that zone with strikes, and he's making these hitters swing the bat.
But taken in over at first for the second out, as that might have been extra bases if it were 3 feet higher. Here's Mookie Betts. 2 away here in the 8th, and time's running out on him, Danny.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of outs left to work with, so it's time for someone to make something happen if they're going to get back into this thing.
This is on the ground over to first. And the inning will continue as that's through for a 2-out hit.
Now batting, third baseman, Justin Turner.
Stepping in now, Justin Turner, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. Into the corner and slicing foul.
He's going to be thinking about that pitch all night if he doesn't have a big game right here. Pulled his front shoulder and everything went with it.
Long run for the left fielder. He's not going to have a play on it, and this might bring home the runner from first. And the runner from first comes around to score.
Never say never in this game, folks. It's late and the clock is ticking, but that RBI double might start making believers out of the entire dugout. We'll see if they can build on it and maybe get back into this thing.
And that's through into center field, base hit. The run scores from second. It's now a 7-4 contest. And he's in there easily. It's a stand-up triple.
Boy, this guy's having a great game here so far, D-Row. Home run earlier in the night, and that base hit right there drives in his 3rd run batted in of this game.
Yeah, you drive to the park every day hoping your rhythm and timing is on point with that pitcher's windup, and that's exactly been the case today. He not only mixed in that big bomb, but now he's got 3 ribbies to boot.
He knows full well he's sitting on a hat trick right here. All he's trying to do is avoid the golden sombrero.
But the inning will continue as that's through for a 2-out hit. And the runner from third scores as they try and work their way back into this one. That makes it 7-5 now. So much of this game is situational hitting, guys. Nice job there.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to pick your teammates up when you're given the chance, and he doesn't try to do too much right here. He just takes what's there. Safely on second, and his buddy is high-fiving teammates in the dugout. On 0-2 here, he doesn't have to give in with a great pitch to hit. He's got a base open, so he has to focus on making a good pitch right here.
Swing and a little tapper.
You're grinding so hard at the plate right there, expecting something on the corners, and what happens? Change up, middle cut.
Got him looking, and that'll do it. The inning is over. So 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and a man left. Bottom of inning number 8 set to go, and digging in is the veteran DH, Giancarlo Stanton. Oh, and a hearty cut there to begin the at-bat. It's 0-1.
Hey, this pitcher better be careful right here. My man at the plate is not trying to push something to the opposite field.
There's a drive high in the air and deep to left center field. Bellinger is on the warning track as he hauls it in for a loud out number 1. Ready now is Luke Voit. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Swung on, but it's pulled foul wide of third. Hard hit towards center. Bellinger is there now, and he has it. 2 gone. Next up will be Gleyber Torres. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Fouled away. Grounded down the third baseline, but this will wind up a foul ball, strike 2. 0-2, here it comes. Now a ball lined to the left side. But this will be a foul ball, and it's still 0-2. Into the windup and the pitch. Now a swing as he stays alive as this is fouled back right off the catcher's arm. Set to deliver on 0-2. Here it comes. And a fastball swung on and missed as they set him down for the second time here tonight. So now into the box is Max Muncy. And obviously they'll need a 9th inning rally here if this series is going to make it to a Game 6. Out in front of it, strike one. Just a bit late, and he's fallen behind 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch. A little bouncer. Another foul ball, and this battle will continue. Ready with another 2-strike offering. And he fouls this one off.
Hey, 5 foul balls in a row. Loving the battle in the box right here, making the pitcher work.
And a swing and a miss. Good pitch there for the first out here in the 9th. Digging in will be A.J. Pollock. Flew out last time up. Here's the first pitch. Well behind that fastball. It's a swinging strike.
Stuff has never been a problem with this pitcher. It's execution and location that is open.
There's a swing and a drive, and everybody's just going to sit back and watch that one fly. A no-doubt home run.
Yeah, and if you remember the previous pitch, he couldn't get around on a fastball and was mad at himself. Well, there's nothing to be mad about anymore unless you're the guy standing on the mound wondering what just happened.
Hit hard down the line, but this is foul for the first strike. 1-run game here in the top of the 9th. Fouled off. And he goes against the shift there as this is on the ground to the left side. And that gets through for a 1-out base hit. Around second now and headed for third. Rios ignores his coach. He's chugging for home. Safe at the plate. It's now a 7-7 game.
The fans are not happy, and I can't blame them. And inside the Parker on that hit, there's simply no excuse for that. And everyone in the ballpark knows it. We'll see if he can shake it off and get out of the top half of this inning.
To the plate now, Chris Taylor. He'll swing and lift a ball foul off to the left and out of play. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1.
Well, they've really had an answer for keeping him in check in this series. He's offered very little resistance with the bat in his hand so far.
Popped him up. Urshela in foul ground. He's got it, and there are 2 down now. So that'll bring in Mookie Betts. He comes into this appearance in the midst of a 1-for-4 day. First offering. This pitch is popped up. Voit has room in foul territory, and he makes the play to end the inning. So not a good turn of events for this home crowd as now their 9th inning lead is all set for the bottom of the 9th. And standing in the outfielder, Clint Frazier.
The left fielder.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. The windup and the 0-1. Shot towards second. Oh, this will be taken in at second base. Good positioning for the first out. That'll bring in Giovanni Urshela. It was a fly out for him in his last trip. Now a ball lined toward the gap in left center. And this is down for extra bases. And there's your winning run moving into scoring position.
Hey, nice piece of hitting right there to put the winning run on base. I know there's one out in the inning. They got one more to play with that they could potentially be productive with, but this guy's looking to end this right now and put something in a gap.
And it's fouled away. Game on the line here, and a ball deep in the gap would make this place explode. The 0-1. Strike swinging, timing a little off on that one. Fouled away. On the ground up the middle. That's through for a base hit, his second of the ball game. The relay, and there are 2 away now. Here's the second baseman, DJ LeMahieu. He can make these fans go nuts and secure the win if he can place a ball deep enough into the gap. A drive to left. Get out of here. Get out of here. Gone. They win it. Santa Maria. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left, and none bigger than that one as this ball game is over.
Heroes are born in October, and you can add another name to that one right here as he finds a way to win this thing with a dramatic walk-off. Wow! What a clutch at bat, what a game, and what a World Series.
Now on the show as we take you through a few of the sights and sounds of the final game of this World Series. Down on the field, we'll get a chance to watch the presentation of the Commissioner's Trophy to the new World Champs. For my partners Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and our entire Fall Classic crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching the World Series.
Some of your partners, you don't really want to mess with them clowns, huh? You 70 on your Benz, That ain't sure, that's for your friends, You won't stop these heads from playing with you, You won't run the block, You won't be the last one with rocks, You keep it, You count the money at the end of the night, You on a 3-day flight, You full of that line. You ducking them people, You the one Facebook on news last night, You the one the dudes out their shoes last night, You don't come in the project when it's dog, You claim you're a thug and you ain't got no heart, You came in the door on New Year's Eve, You got stuck and then you couldn't leave, It was hard for you to breathe, You're a paper chaser, you got your block on fire, you remain in the G. Until the moment you expire, you know what it is. To make nothing out of something, you handle your biz. And don't be crying, it is something you a paper chaser. You got your block on fire, you remain in the G. Until the moment you expire, you know what it is. To make nothing out of something, you handle your biz. And don't be crying, it is something. You got a trespass time. You got on the hard, when you was looking at them. You don't know when to quit, That's you with that shot call and click, That's you with that ball and click, That's you that's taking them hits, Your girl don't know when to shut up her mouth, You gon' one of her teeth out, You gon' switch from Nikes to Reeboks, You twinkle your goals every time you leave your house, The income tax checks out, You about to flip that, You about to go so you You about to go treat your, You about to go put the on one of these, When you broke, you drove, When you paid, you got boo-boo places to go, You on top, You don't think you can be stopped, You by the shop, You riding the Benz on 20-inch rims, You're a paper chaser, you got your block on fire, you remain in the G. Until the moment you expire, you know what it is. To make nothing out of something, you handle your biz. And don't be crying, and it's something, you a paper chaser. You got your block on fire, you remain in the G. Until the moment you expire, you know what it is. To make nothing out of something, you handle your biz. And don't be crying, and it's something. Stay in the yoke and them people
You're gonna be happy. Keep working today. That smile will come one day.
With the MLB draft already underway, a young prospect shares his expectations with a former coach.
Carlos, you lived that in your baseball career. What's his world like?
Oh, it's extremely exciting. You know that if you perform, you will get the call.
We've got a developing story here. JP, what are you hearing?
I'm checking the numbers, I'm talking to my sources and my scouts, and they're all telling me, hey, this could actually work.
Most of us mere mortals, when we were that age, we were barely chewing gum and walking at the same time, let alone playing the hardest game there is.
Let's see if he's pumping up mentally here to adapt. That's what good players do.
That dream of getting the big leagues is now becoming reality with that one phone call.
Continuing our MLB Draft Day 2 wrap-up coverage, back to the prospect that we mentioned before the break. There was some surprise, even some criticism of the front office over how early he went off the board. Jonathan Mayo, what do you think of this pick?
Man, I don't think any of us saw this one coming. This definitely feels like a reach to me. I had him more as a day 3 kind of guy. There was a split camp. A lot of scouts disagreed whether he's better as a pitcher or better as a hitter. I'm guessing the team felt that he's got potential on both sides of the ball, and maybe that adds some value to him. But this made me scratch my head a little bit for sure.
All right, Jonathan Mayo, thanks. What about you, Jim Callis? Was this a head-scratcher or the reach of the draft, as some of the other analysts have suggested?
Yeah, I talked to somebody with the team, and they're excited to get this guy. This is a guy they really want. And the 2 points the club made to me were, one, this whole debate, is he a hitter, is he a pitcher, what are you going to do with him? There was a lot of confusion. This team isn't confused. This team feels like he's got very good potential as a hitter and as a pitcher. They may even try to play him both ways. And they felt like there were a couple other teams that were starting to sniff around this guy. And, this isn't the NFL or NBA draft where you can trade down to get a guy you want. If you want a guy, you have to take him because there's no trades. And they felt like if they didn't take him where they did, somebody else was going to get them. And they just absolutely did not want that to happen.
Jim Callis, we appreciate the time. Thanks.
A minor league manager checks in with one of his players to discuss a launch plan for the young man's development.
Rolling along with the podcast and back on the prospect who's divided the scouting community, I am opposed to this belief that he went too high. I really think he could be a steal here. This is a guy who's got so much development left to do. He's got so much potential. And I think all the scouts who are down on him think, oh, he's not a finished product. We don't know what he is. That, to me, could be a good thing. He can hit. He can field. He can pitch. There is so much untapped potential so far for this guy. I'm excited to see what he becomes. And certainly as he gets started actually playing, actually being in games, we're going to be able to talk to some other folks who get a better read on him and see what they think. I'm excited for that. And frankly, I'm going to have my eye on him for a while.
A player receives a check-in from one of his coaches.
For example, I'm the inspiration of a whole generation. And unless you got 10 sticky fingers, it's the imitation, a figment of your imagination. But wait, it gets worse. I'm not watered down, so I'm dying of thirst. Coming through with the scam, foolproof plan. B-boys make some noise and just fail.
The show's continuing coverage of AA Northeast League Baseball is on the air. Opening night here in this brand new season between the New Hampshire Fisher Cats and the Portland Sea Dogs. It's baseball, it's the show, and it comes your way next.
Portland Sea Dogs.
Random gets the call to pitch here on opening day in front of the hometown crowd. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
This guy has a 3-pitch mix, and he needs all 3 of his pitches. If he has them all working and uses them properly, he has a chance to be very effective.
Now the first pitch. Down the right field line. He's around first, heading for 2. And he is into second base with a leadoff double.
If that's any indication, I think we're going to see some aggressive at-bats in this one. Take the first pitch of the game? No way. He squared it up and winds up on second base after a nice line drive. Great opportunity to get on the board right out of the blocks.
Great chance to drive in a run here in the early going.
Hey, guys, here we go. You got to hold him.
High pop-up. Pareda has a play. He's got it one away. Into the box, John Ramsey. First appearance for him here with the leadoff man still at second and 1 gone now. Right to him. And he'll take this one to the bag for the out, but meanwhile the runner will move up 90 feet to third base. So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Patrick Hager. Runner in scoring position with 2 gone. Swing and a miss that time. Strike 1. Ready with the 0-1. Late decision to swing that time, and as a result, it's 0-2. Weller at third with 2 away.
Let's go, baby.
Here's a breaking ball, but it doesn't quite find the strike zone.
He didn't look overly fooled right there because a lot of pitchers will go to the break.
Looking at a fastball to end the inning. So a good job on the mound there as he'll strand the runner at third in the opening half inning. So it's on to the bottom of inning number 1, no score. To the plate now is the designated hitter, Logan Warmoth. As it'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up to kick off the second inning. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Hit on the ground down the first baseline. Throw is in time for the first out of the second. Digging in next, Vinny Capra.
The shortstop, Vinny Capra.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Pulled high in the air out to left field.
I got it.
Decker is there, so 2 pitches and 2 outs thus far. The batter will be Colin Moore. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. And he gets ahead here with the fastball. Strike 1.
That's one of those pitches you just float over the plate. 99% of the time the batter is taking at least the first pitch after 2 straight 1-pitch outs, so you almost can underhand it up there.
And he will get there as he had to cover a lot of ground to make that play, and that ends the inning. Nothing doing here this half. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 2, and we are tied 0-0. Top of the third set to get underway, and next it'll be the outfielder, Eric Minuta.
Number 12.
Grounded to short. Scooped up. Throw to first in time, and the leadoff man is gone to start the third. Now at the plate, Daniel Haston. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Well out in front of the breaking ball there for a strike.
The offense better get it going right here because they certainly can tell from their dugout. This guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
There's a hard hit ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dan. Sent it back right where it came from.
Weller.
At the plate, Ken Weller. The first pitch is hit pretty well out to right. But he will haul this in on the run as he had to go back to the warning track to do it, and there are 2 away. Next, here is Kyle White. 0 for 1 here in the early going. First pitch of the AB on its way. Now a big fastball, and he's well behind it with the swing.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating and feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
Hard bullet single to left field on a pitch that was kind of middle down in the zone, D-Row, and he's going to have to make some better pitches than that one.
Yeah, if he's going to leave pitches over the heart of the plate, he's going to have a long night. The middle of this order does serious damage.
Ready with the 0-1, and he fouls this one off.
Hey, take the short way.
And strike 3 called as he says, "You got to be kidding me," with the side retired. So it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left stranded. We'll head now to the home half of inning number 3, and we are tied 0-0. All set for the start of the 4th. And next to bat will be the first baseman, Patrick Hager.
I know we're not seeing a lot of offense in this one, but there's still some game left. I'm looking to see these guys, both offenses, make some notable adjustments at the dish and try and scratch a few runs across.
Pulled high in the air out to left field. Decker is right there, and it's a very quick out number 1. Next to stand in is Logan Warmoth. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. No balls and 1 strike.
Man, the batter's eyes lit up right there. A hanger just a little bit out in front. Couldn't keep it fair.
Again, another foul ball.
There's another pitch for a strike, and this guy's really attacking hitters well tonight, being aggressive early on, and if he continues to throw strikes like he is, he's going to have a pretty good night.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. Now another 0-2. And that is swung on and missed. He's down on strikes, and the first two are retired here to begin inning number 4.
I'll tell you, he looks really dialed in on the bump right there. He's got a shutout going, and he really seems to have this lineup off balance. Even when he challenges them up in the zone, they don't have an answer for it.
The batter, the shortstop, Vinny.
Come on now, get ahead of him. Into the box now, Vinny Capra. As he'll take a look at his strike on the outside corner, it's 0-1. He's 0 for 1 thus far. And he's got to be more disciplined here. It's 0-2.
He's got a good feel for his off-speed pitches second time through the order, and we just saw 3 in a row.
And a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the side is retired. So they're held in check here this half of the inning. To the bottom of inning number 4 we go, and we are tied 0-0. All ready to go in the top of the 5th, and that'll bring up the outfielder, Colin Moore. First offering. This is on the ground over to first. And he'll take it to the bag himself for the out. Next, it'll be Eric Minuta. Comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. And this is swung on and missed, so it's 2 up, 2 down to start the 5th.
Well, he's really locked in at this point in the game on the bump. So far this inning, 4 pitches and 2 outs. Got the first guy on 1 pitch, then absolutely dominates this at bat with a 3-pitch strikeout.
Into the box, Daniel Haston.
And a swing from him yields a foul pop out of play to the right.
1 for 1 with a single so far. Here's a fastball at the knees. Good spot, good pitch, and it's 0-2.
Man, he's in control of all his weapons right here. 1 strike away from 5 shutout innings.
Heading out towards shallow right. He's under it, and that ends the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. Home half of the 5th coming up. And the Sea Dogs lead this one 1-0. Stepping up is Ken Weller. He'll lead things off here in this 1-run contest. He's ready. Here's the first pitch.
Hey, the guy on the mound is absolutely pounding the zone, and that's why he's been able to stay and pitch deep into this game.
All right, come on now. The windup and the 0-1. And a slow curveball in there for strike 2.
Hey, make no mistake about it, this lineup's going to have to get going and get a little bit more aggressive. This guy's pounding the zone.
Protecting on 0-2, so we'll do it again. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Now the fastball is right by him as he swings and misses for the first out of the inning.
He's been in total control out there tonight. Gets the leadoff guy with a strikeout there, and it just seems like we've seen so many off-balance swings and weakly hit balls in this one.
Kyle White is next as he finds himself behind 0-1.
Hey, this guy's done a better job than expected. He's made some bad pitches in the strike zone, but so far he hasn't gotten hurt by him.
Looked like he tried to pull it there, but he swings right through the fastball. This is in the air out to straightaway center. Cordero is there, 2 gone. So the next to bat will be John Ramsey, struck out in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, Matty, and hopefully he got it out of his system, especially now he's got to bear down. He gets the 2 strikes in this spot, has to put the ball in play.
Now the 1-0 is offered at and missed for the first strike.
I think it's safe to say he wasn't ready for the fastball.
Wow, was he behind that fastball. Great job on the mound using the curveball to set up the heater.
And they could go either way now, I suppose.
And he struck him out, his 7th of the ball game, and that ends the inning. So nothing happening this time around.
Yeah, that's what you want to do when you're playing on the road. Take it right to the home squad and get a win. Now the pressure's off. If they get one of the next 2, the series is theirs.
A 4-1 finish in this evening's game. The Fisher Cats crossed the plate 3 times in the 8th, helping propel them to the win. Dylan Kaiser gets the win in relief, his 2nd of the year. William Willett strikes out the side to record the save, his 2nd. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to the new website, theshow.com. The game's future stars are on display as minor league baseball comes your way on The Show. Tonight, the 2nd of 3 to start the week between the New Hampshire Fisher Cats and the Portland Sea Dogs. It's baseball on The Show, and it's coming up next. Next, it'll be random.
Batting ninth, the designated hitter.
First pitch on its way. He couldn't catch up with the gas that time. Gets the fastball by him here, and he's in control 0-2. And he strikes him out here, so he's able to stop the bleeding a bit as this side is retired. So they pick up 3 runs on 3 hits, including the home.